Tom was alone again. He worked as an engineer on Delta IV, a small moon station floating between two giant planets. His job was simple: fix machines, check the power, and make sure nothing exploded. Life was quiet. Too quiet. Tom liked quiet. But sometimes he felt lonely. The only sound he heard each day was the soft hum of machines and the beep of scanners. No humans lived near him. Supplies came once a month. Messages from Earth were delayed. Tom spent most days fixing broken pipes and cleaning dusty control panels. But one night, everything changed. Tom heard a noise. Not a machine noise. Not a system alarm. This noise was different. It was soft, like footsteps. At first he thought it was his imagination. He turned off the lights and listened. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. Someone or something was walking in the cargo bay. Tom grabbed a metal rod for protection. His heart was racing. Who could it be? Pirates? An alien? A malfunctioning robot? Slowly, he walked toward the cargo bay. The air felt colder than usual. His hand was shaking. Then he saw her. She was standing near the supply crates. She looked like a young girl, but different. Her skin was glowing blue. Her silver eyes shone like small stars. She had no hair, but strange soft lights moved across her head like flowing water. Tom froze. His brain could not understand what he was seeing. The girl tilted her head. She smiled. "Hello, human." Tom almost dropped his rod. Tried to speak, but no words came out. "I'm Luma," she said softly.
"Don't worry.
"I won't eat you." Tom's heart skipped a beat. "What are you?" he finally asked. Luma looked confused. "What do you mean? I'm Azerian." "I'm just a normal girl." Tom shook his head. "Normal? You're glowing?" Luma looked down at her hands. She laughed. "Oh, sorry. That's just my skin energy. It's natural. Do humans not glow?" Tom felt dizzy. Humans don't glow. Strange. Silence filled the room for a moment. Then Luma said something unexpected. "I broke into your station," she said proudly. "Funny, right?" Tom blinked. "What?" I said. "I broke into your station. That's my joke." Tom didn't laugh. Luma's smile slowly faded. Humans are no fun. Tom took a step back, still confused and scared. "Why are you here?" Luma sat on a crate like a child waiting for story time. "I ran away. I got lost. I was hiding in your station. But now you found me. Surprise." Dom looked around carefully. No signs of weapons. No signs of other aliens. Luma continued. "I was watching you for 3 days. You don't talk much. You also sleep a lot. Is that part of human humor?" Tom was speechless. Luma frowned. "Still, not laughing? Maybe I'm telling it wrong?" She stood up and suddenly tried to jump high, hitting her head on the low ceiling. She fell flat on the floor. Tom dropped his rod and rushed forward. "Are you okay?" Luma looked up from the floor and said, "Seriously? That was another joke." Tom stared. She sighed. "Maybe I'm not funny." Tom slowly sat down. On a crate, tired and confused, this glowing girl was strange. She was not attacking him. She was not dangerous. But she clearly didn't understand humans at all. "Okay? Let's slow down," Tom said. "You're hiding here, 'cause you ran away from your people." Luma nodded. "And you've been inside my station, watching me? Correct? And you think that breaking in is a joke?"
Off.
"Course," Tom rubbed his face. "That's not a joke. It's breaking the law." Luma blinked. "Law? What's that?" Tom felt helpless. He'd never felt so tired in his life. Luma stood up again and brushed dust from her knees. "So, I need to ask, can I stay here?" Tom looked at her in shock. "Stay here," he repeated. Luma nodded. "Yes, I'll stay quiet. I'll just watch you. I won't steal your tools again. You stole my tools." Luma smiled proudly. That was my first joke. Tom covered his face with both hands. His lonely, peaceful life had just been invaded by a glowing alien girl who thought stealing tools and hitting her head were jokes. Luma suddenly sat beside him and whispered, "You'll laugh soon. I promise." Tom looked at her. She was serious. Dead serious. Before Tom could say anything else, the main system beeped. Supplies would arrive in 3 days. What was he going to do? Human engineer and a strange blue alien girl sitting together. In a dark cargo bay, Tom sighed. "This is not funny," he said. Luma smiled softly and replied, "Not yet." For the next few days, Tom's life turned upside down. Luma, the strange blue girl, started living inside the station. She didn't ask for food. She said she ate energy from light. She didn't sleep much. Instead, she followed Tom everywhere, watching him work. Her silver eyes blinked without understanding most of what he did. Tom tried to focus on his work, but Luma made that impossible. Every day, she tried new jokes. One morning, Tom woke up and found all his tools missing. His screwdriver, scanner, even his gloves, everything was gone. He searched for an hour before he heard soft laughter from the ceiling vent. "Looking for these?" Luma said, dropping the tools one by one. Tom stared at her. "That's not funny," he said. Luma looked hurt, "But I thought hiding tools was a joke." Tom sighed. "No, it's a problem." Luma looked down. "Maybe your human brain is too slow to understand alien humor." Tom shook his head. "No, your humor is just broken." Luma crossed her arms. "That's rude." Later that day, while Tom was fixing a broken pipe in the control room, Luma tried a different joke. She pretended to faint. She fell right in front of him. Tom panicked. "Luma, are you okay?" She opened one eye and said softly, "Surprise. It's a joke." Tom felt like hitting his head on the wall. "Luma, that's not a joke. That's scary." "But fear is funny," she replied. Tom rubbed his forehead. "Not for humans." Luma sat up slowly. "Maybe I should try scaring you more." "No, please don't." The next day, Luma disappeared again. Tom searched everywhere. Cargo bay, engine room, control panels. Nowhere. Finally, he found her sitting inside a crate, pretending to be a statue. She didn't move. Her skin lights were off. "Found you," Tom said. She whispered, "Do statues talk?" Tom walked away silently. At night, while Tom ate his simple meal of protein cubes, Luma sat across from him, watching closely. "Why don't you laugh, Tom?" she asked softly. "Because nothing is funny, not even me." Tom looked at her glowing blue face. She looked like a sad child. He felt a little bad. "You're different, but your jokes confuse me, not make me laugh." Luma's silver eyes dimmed. "Then teach me." Tom paused. "Teach you?" "Teach me human jokes." Tom scratched his head. "You really want to learn?" Luma nodded seriously. "Fine," Tom said. "Let's try." That evening, the first lesson began. Tom sat in front of her and said, "Okay, listen carefully. Humans like simple jokes. I'll teach you. 1. He cleared his throat. "Knock, knock." Luma looked confused. "Who's there?" Tom smiled. "See? You're learning. Now say Tom." "Tom." "Tom who?" Luma frowned. "I don't understand." Tom finished the joke. "Tom who wants his tools back from a blue alien." Luma blinked twice and whispered, "Is that funny?" Tom sighed. "It's supposed to be." Luma thought for a moment. "I don't get it." Tom laughed softly. "Let's try something easier." For the next hour, Tom told silly stories, made strange faces, and even tried walking. Funny. Luma watched every move seriously, like a student in school at one point. Tom crossed his eyes and stuck out his tongue. Luma stared. Then she said softly, "Is this human love ritual?" Tom stopped. "No, this is a joke." Luma looked thoughtful. "Your species is strange." But slowly, something changed. Luma began to copy him. She tried telling her own jokes. But they were strange. "Why did the asteroid stop flying?" she asked one night. Tom sighed. "Why? Because it was tired." Tom paused. Then, for the first time, he laughed. It was not a big laugh, just a small, tired laugh. But real, Luma's silver eyes lit up like stars. You laughed? She said loudly. Tom nodded. Yeah, I guess I did. Luma clapped softly. Finally, I'm funny. Tom smiled a little. Maybe just a little. Luma looked proud for the first time, but their peaceful moment ended suddenly. That night, as Tom and Luma sat near the observation window, looking at the stars, a loud alarm blared across the station. Warning. Known ship detected. Distance. 10,000 units. Tom jumped up. He ran to the control panel. His face turned pale. A large ship was moving toward the station. Luma stood behind him silently. Luma, is that your people? Tom asked quietly. Luma didn't answer. Tom turned to look at her. She whispered, They found me. Who? Tom demanded. Luma closed her glowing eyes. The Zarian patrol. They want me back. I ran away from them. Tom felt a heavy weight in his chest. Why did you run? Luma looked at him sadly. Because I'm different. I like human humor, my people say. That's dangerous. Tom was silent. He looked at the blinking red alert. A ship was coming. They didn't have much time, Luma whispered. I will go. I don't want to cause you trouble. Tom clenched his fists. Over my dead body. Tom stood in front of Luma. His hands were shaking, but his voice was strong. You are not going anywhere, Luma. Luma looked confused. But my people, they are coming. If they find me here, they will take me back. Maybe they will destroy. Your station too? Tom didn't care. I won't let them take you. Luma's silver eyes glowed softly. Why are you protecting me, human? Tom thought for a moment. Because you're my friend. Luma blinked twice. Friend. Tom nodded. Yes, you're strange. You confuse me. But you're not bad. And friends protect each other. Luma sat down slowly. In my world, no one wanted to be my friend. Everyone said I was broken. Tom sat beside her. You're not broken, Luma. You're just different. For a few minutes there was silence between them. Only the hum of the station filled. The then Luma asked softly, What will we do when my people come? Tom thought hard. He didn't know how to fight an alien ship. His station was small. It had no big weapons. It's only small defense shields. But then he had an idea. We will. Trick them? Trick them? Yes. You're good at tricks, right? That's your kind of joke. Luma's eyes lit up. Yes, I am very good at tricks. Tom smiled. Then maybe your strange humor can help save us. Luma tilted her head. This'll be your biggest joke, human. Tom stood up. He felt scared, but also hopeful. Come on, Luma. It's time for your first human lesson. That night, Tom and Luma worked together. Tom taught her how humans used humor. He showed her videos from Earth funny animals, silly humans slipping on ice, clowns making faces. Luma watched carefully, trying to understand. Humans laugh when something silly happens, she asked. Tom nodded. Yes, and sometimes, when they're scared, they laugh too. Luma looked thoughtful. Fear and laughter. Strange combination. Tom laughed softly. You said fear was funny before? Maybe you were right, Luma smiled. So maybe I am half human. Tom showed her more jokes. He made funny sounds. He told riddles. He even sang badly on purpose. Luma tried copying him. Why? Did the robot fall down? She asked. Tom waited because its battery fell out, Luma said, looking proud. Tom smiled. You're learning. Luma looked happier. Her skin lights glowed brighter. Then Tom taught her the next important human lesson. Luma, he said seriously, a joke is not just for laughing. A joke can also confuse. It can distract. Luma listened carefully. When your people arrive, we can use your kind of jokes to trick them. My jokes? Yes, strange jokes. Like the ones you used on me? Luma nodded slowly. I understand. Together, they made a plan. The next day, the alien ship came closer. Tom's scanners showed it had weapons, shields, strong engines. His small station was no match, but Tom was ready. He connected his station's communication system to the ship. He sent a simple message. "Hello, this is Tom from Delta 4 Station." The reply came fast. A cold, deep voice spoke. "This is Captain Zur of the Zirian Patrol. Surrender the escaped one, or we will take her by force." Tom looked at Luma. She looked scared, but Tom gave her a small nod. He pressed the button and replied, "No." There was silence. Then the alien voice spoke again, colder this time. "You. Protect a mistake, human. That one is broken. Give her back." Tom spoke firmly. "She's not broken. We are not here to debate." Tom looked at Luma. She stood beside him, her silver eyes glowing bright. "Ready?" Tom whispered. Luma nodded. "Send the message, human." Tom pressed the button. From his station, a strange sound was sent to the alien ship. Luma had recorded herself saying confusing riddles, odd sounds, and her strange jokes. Over and over, the message played. "Why did the sun stop shining? Because it was shy. Ha ha. Did you hear that? No, because sound doesn't travel in space. Surprise." Then, loud, strange music played, over and over, and over. The Zirian ship sent a new message. "What is this?" Tom replied calmly. "That's Luma's comedy show. Hope you enjoy it." More riddles played. It's more loud music. Tom and Luma waited. Inside the alien ship, the Zirians listened in confusion. Their scanners showed nothing wrong. Their minds couldn't understand the endless, strange sounds. Their logic systems froze. Their captain felt fear. What human weapon was this? Tom smiled softly. He whispered to Luma, "Maybe your jokes are deadly after all." Luma laughed softly. "I told you I'm funny." Tom increased the volume. The alien ship sent one final message. "Keep her. We're leaving." And then, ship turned away. "Tom?" And Luma watched silently as the ship disappeared into the dark sky. They had won. Tom sat down on the floor, tired but happy. Luma sat beside him. "I can't believe that worked," Tom whispered. Luma smiled. "Comedy saves lives." Tom laughed. A real laugh. Luma's eyes sparkled. "I made you laugh again." "Yes, you did." For a moment they just sat there. Two friends. A human and a glowing blue alien. "Thank you, Luma," Tom said softly. Luma looked confused. "Why thank me?" "Because you taught me something." "What?" Tom smiled. "That even strange jokes can be powerful." Luma nodded slowly. "You taught me what friendship feels like." Together they looked at the stars through the observation window, Luma whispered. "And you say, I'm not funny, human?" Tom laughed again. "You win, Luma. You're the funniest alien I know." After the Zarian ship left, Tom thought life would return to normal. But he was wrong. Every day, Tom and Luma checked the scanners. The patrol ship didn't return, but Tom felt uneasy. He knew the Zirians would not give up so easily. Would tell others. More ships might come. Luma felt it too. "They will return," she said one night, sitting near the observation window. Her silver eyes looked sad. "My people don't forget." Tom sat beside her. "Why do they want you back so badly?" Luma whispered. "Because I'm different. I don't fit in their world. They believe I'm broken." Tom looked at her glowing. Blue skin? She looked peaceful, not dangerous. "Why do they hate jokes so much?" Tom asked. Luma closed her eyes. "In Zirian culture, everything must follow logic. Rules, order, humor is chaos. A dangerous idea." Tom couldn't believe it. Jokes are harmless, not to them. Jokes create questions. Questions create freedom, and freedom is dangerous to their leaders. Tom was silent. Luma continued, "I was the first Zirian child who started laughing. My teachers said I was sick. My parents were afraid. I didn't understand. I only wanted to make others smile. But in my world, smiles are signs of weakness." Tom felt a deep sadness. He remembered his own childhood, when laughter was normal. When life felt simple, he looked at Luma and said softly, "Your people are wrong." Luma smiled faintly. "Thank you." Suddenly, the station alarm rang again. Red lights flashed. The computer voice said, Warning. 2 unknown ships detected. Tom rushed to the control room. Luma followed quickly. The scanner showed 2 ships, bigger than before, coming fast. Luma whispered, "They sent more." Tom felt anger rising inside. They think they can just take you. Luma looked at him. "I can't let you fight for me again." Tom shook his head. "I won't let them take you, Luma. You're not just a visitor now. This is your home too." Luma's silver eyes glowed brighter. She felt something warm inside her chest. Was this what humans called family? Tom worked fast. He checked the station shields, but they were weak. No big weapons, only small defense systems. Luma stood beside him, thinking hard. "I have an idea," she said softly. Tom looked at her. "What?" "We need to fight using humor." Tom blinked. Again, Luma nodded. "This time bigger." Tom trusted her now. "Tell me the plan." For the next 2 hours, they worked together. Tom reprogrammed the communication system. Luma prepared new sound files. They hacked the hologram, projectors, and they created the strangest battle strategy Delta 4 had ever seen. When the 2 ships came close, Tom opened the station's channel. "This is Delta 4 station. State your purpose," a cold voice replied. "We are here for the escaped one. Return her or be destroyed." Tom looked at Luma. She whispered, "Time for the biggest joke." Tom pressed the button. From the station, a large hologram appeared in space. A giant floating version of Luma's face, smiling wide. Then her voice echoed loudly. "Hello, Xerians. Ready for my comedy show?" Strange music played, silly sounds, random jokes. Bright lights dot inside the alien ships. The crews were confused. Their scanners picked nothing dangerous. But their minds couldn't process the strange images and sounds. The Xerian culture had no understanding of humor, and this made them scared. Their captain shouted, "This is madness." Luma's hologram continued. "Why did the spaceship stop flying?" "'Cause it was tired. Ha ha. Get it? Tired," Tom added. His own strange sounds to the broadcast. Beep, boop, honk. Luma's voice laughed loudly. "Did you hear that? It's the sound of freedom." The Xerian ships hesitated. Their systems were not built to handle illogical data. Their minds started panicking. Tom whispered, "Keep going, Luma." Luma's voice said, "I am not broken. I'm just funny." The alien ships tried to block the signals, but Luma had already hacked their systems. Her jokes kept playing inside their ships. Finally, one ship turned away. Then the second ship followed. Tom and Luma watched as both ships disappeared into space. Silence filled the station. Then Tom laughed. "You did it, Luma." Luma looked at it. Her face calm, but her eyes shining. "No," she said softly. "We did it." Later that night, Tom and Luma sat near the observation window again. Tom looked at the stars. "Do you think they'll come back?" Luma shook her head. "Not soon. Our joke scared them." Tom smiled. "God, that's the first time I heard someone say a joke scared anyone." Luma smiled back. "Now you understand Xerians." Tom looked at her and asked seriously, "What will you do now?" Luma thought for a moment. "I want to stay." Tom felt happy inside. "Here, yes, this place feels safe." Tom nodded. "Then it's your home now." Luma looked at him softly. "Thank you, Tom." Tom laughed. "Finally, you said my name without calling me human?" Luma tilted her head. "Does that count as a joke?" Tom smiled. "Maybe." Just outside the window, the stars shone bright. Inside Delta 4. A human and a strange alien sat side by side. 2 different beings. But now, 2 real friends. Days passed after the 2 ships ran away. Tom hoped the danger was over, but Luma knew better. "They will come again," she said softly one morning. Her silver eyes looked serious now. "Stronger ones." Tom nodded. "Then we'll fight them again." Luma shook her head. "Can't keep winning with jokes." Tom asked, "What do you mean?" Luma stood quietly, thinking. "They will upgrade their minds. They will block my voice. Next time they will come prepared." Tom looked at her sadly. Then what can we do? Luma smiled softly. Teach me human tricks. Tom blinked. Human tricks. Yes, real human jokes. Not just sounds, not just riddles. I need to understand your humor, for real. Tom sat down slowly. Are you ready? Luma nodded. And so the lessons began. Tom taught her about human comedy, not silly noises, not only hiding tools. He explained why humans laugh. Sometimes people laugh when they're happy. Sometimes when they're nervous. Sometimes when things are unexpected. A joke, Tom said, is about surprise. Luma asked. Tom nodded. Yes, people expect one thing, but something different happens. That's funny. Luma listened carefully. Her glowing blue skin looked brighter. As she learned, Tom told her more human jokes. Simple ones. Why did the computer go to sleep? He asked. Luma thought. I don't know. Tom smiled, because it was tired. Luma tilted her head. But computers don't get tired. Tom laughed. That's why it's funny. Slowly. Luma understood. She started creating her own jokes. Strange ones, but better than before. Why did the spaceship fly backward? She asked. Tom said, why? Because it wanted to see where it had been. Tom laughed. Luma smiled brightly for the first time. Her jokes sounded like real human humor. You're learning fast, Tom said. Luma looked proud. I want to. Save us, Tom. Tom nodded. We will. Together. Soon the scanners beeped again. Another ship was coming, but this time it was massive. Twice as big as the last ones. Tom looked at Luma. This is it. Luma whispered final show. They both knew. This time, it was a real battle. The Xerian ship stopped near Delta Dash for a message came. Return the broken one now, Tom answered. Her name's Luma and she's not broken. The voice replied coldly, then you both will be destroyed. The ship started charging its weapons. Tom activated the station's shields, but they were weak. Luma stood beside him. I have a plan. Tom looked at her. We attack. From inside, Luma said, what? We board their ship. Tom was shocked. That's crazy. Luma's silver eyes shone bright. It's the only way. Tom hesitated, but he trusted her. Let's do it. Using a small hidden pod, Tom and Luma reached the enemy ship. The Xerians didn't expect an attack. Their sensors looked for ships, not tiny pods, inside the ship. The halls were dark, cold, silent. Tom felt fear. Luma whispered, follow me. They moved quickly through the shadows. Xerian guards appeared, but Luma was fast. She used her glowing skin as a distraction. Her lights confused the guards, who couldn't understand her strange behavior. She shouted odd words. Beep, beep. Danger. I'm a joke machine. The guards hesitated. Tom used his wrench to disable the security doors. They reached the main control room there. Luma did something no human could do. She connected her mind to the ship's system. Tom watched as Luma's skin glowed bright blue. Her silver eyes shone like stars. I'm inside their ship network, she said calmly. Tom asked, what now? Luma smiled. I make them laugh. She sent her human-learned jokes directly into the minds of every Xerian on the ship. Not loud. Noises, not silly sounds. Real jokes. Real surprises. Why did the black hole go to therapy? She asked in their minds. Because it couldn't let anything go. Confusion spread, panic. Their minds couldn't handle surprise. One by one, Xerians froze. Then something strange happened. One Xerian laughed, then another, then more inside. Their strict minds, cracks appeared, logic broke. Laughter spread like fire. Their systems failed. Their weapons stopped charging. Tom watched, amazed. Luma stood tall. Her voice echoed softly. I'm not broken. I'm free. The ship's captain, strong and cold, tried to resist. He walked into the control room, face full of anger. You infected us, he shouted. Tom stood ready to fight, but Luma walked forward. I shared freedom, she said. Calmly, the captain raised his weapon. Tom jumped to protect Luma, but then the captain laughed. A soft, weak laugh. He dropped his weapon. Why do I feel happy? He whispered. Luma touched his hand gently. It's called joy. Minutes later, the great Zarian ship surrendered. The war was over. Not by weapons, but by laughter back on Delta 4. Tom sat near the observation window. Luma stood beside him. The ship is gone, Tom said. They're free now. Luma nodded. Yes. For the first time, Tom looked at her. What will you do now? Luma smiled. Teach them more jokes, Tom laughed. You're serious, of course? Tom looked at her and said softly, and you say, I'm not funny, human. Luma laughed. For real this time, eh? Little funny. They both laughed together, and for the first time, Delta 4 Station felt like home. Luma stood quietly beside Tom inside the control room of Delta 4. The Zarian ship was gone now. The battle was over. Tom knew something had changed. Are you all right, Luma? Tom asked softly. Luma looked at him and smiled. I am happy. Tom had never seen her like this before. Her silver eyes glowed warm. Her blue skin shined softly like moonlight. For the first time, Luma felt free. But Tom was worried. Will your people return? He asked. Luma shook her head slowly. No, not to fight. Something inside them changed. Tom sat down on a crate. He was tired. The long nights, the fear, the confusion. It was finally ending. What do you mean changed? He asked Luma. Explained. My jokes broke their minds, but also opened them. Arians never laughed before. They know what laughter feels like. Tom looked at her with amazement. You did that. Luma smiled gently. Oh, we did that. Suddenly, the communications screen lit up. A message. Tom's heart skipped a beat. But the message was different. It was not a threat. It was a request. We request more jokes. Tom read the message twice. Luma's smile grew wider. They want more. Tom laughed softly. They're asking for a comedy show? Luma nodded. It's time for the biggest joke. Over the next few days, Delta 4 became something new, something strange, something no human could imagine. A school, a comedy school. Zarian ships began arriving one by one, not for battle, but for learning. The strict, cold Zarians now wanted to understand humor. Luma became their teacher. Tom helped too, showing simple human jokes and stories. Inside the old cargo bay, a large screen was set up. Zarian students sat silently, waiting. Tom whispered, They're ready. Luma stepped onto the small stage. She looked at the crowd. Her voice was clear. Welcome to my comedy school. No one laughed yet, she continued. Today's lesson. What is a joke? A joke is freedom. Tom watched from the side. He felt proud. Luma told them simple riddles. She showed funny human videos. The Zarians listened carefully, writing notes, studying every word. Sometimes they laughed, sometimes they didn't, but they kept learning. Luma taught them the first rule of human humor: it's okay to be silly. One Zarian raised his hand, but silliness is illogical. Luma smiled. Exactly, and that's why it's fun. The room stayed silent for a few seconds. Then, one Zarian laughed. A soft sound, then another, and another. Soon, the whole room was filled with strange laughter. Tom felt like he was dreaming. Delta 4, once a lonely space station, was now the first comedy school of the galaxy. Later that night, Tom and Luma sat near the observation window again. Tom looked at the stars. I can't believe this happened. Luma looked at him. Humans change worlds. Tom smiled. No, you changed your world. Luma shook her head. Without you, I would still be hiding in your cargo bay, thinking hiding tools was a good joke. Tom laughed softly. Luma whispered, and now, my people are laughing, Tom asked. What's next? Luma said simply. We teach more. The next morning, a new message came from the Zarian Council. They invited Luma to speak to their leaders. Luma looked scared. I don't know if I can. Tom stood beside her. You can. You're ready? Luma looked at her glowing hands. But what if they don't laugh? Tom smiled. And tell them this. Why did the asteroid stop moving? Dilma tilted her head. Why? Tom grinned. Because it got tired. Luma laughed. A real, happy laugh. I will try. A few days later, Luma returned. Tom waited at the landing dock. When he saw her, he smiled. How did it go? Luma stood silently. Then, she said they laughed. Tom felt his heart lighten. They asked me to open more comedy schools. Not just on Delta 4, but everywhere. Tom was shocked. Everywhere. Luma nodded. They want to learn. Tom whispered, You're going to change your whole world. Luma said softly. Not just my world. Maybe the galaxy. Tom looked at her, feeling proud. Then Luma said something surprising. I want you to help me, Tom. Me? Yes. You're the first human who taught me humor. You're my first friend. I want you to help me teach. Tom felt tears in his eyes. I'd be honored. Luma smiled gently. Then she said her favorite line. And you say I'm not funny? Human? Tom laughed. Okay. Maybe you are. Together. They looked at the stars. Delta-4 was not just a station now. It was the birthplace of the galaxy's first comedy revolution. All because one human believed in a strange blue girl who wanted to make people laugh. The air on Delta 4 station was full of energy and hope. Ships from many different worlds visited now, bringing curious beings who wanted to learn laughter. The station that was once quiet and lonely was alive with voices, smiles, and most importantly, laughter. Tom stood near the main hall, watching the crowd. Aliens of many shapes and sizes sat on benches, waiting for Luma's next lesson. Tom's heart was full. He remembered the first day he met Luma alone in the dark cargo bay, confused and glowing. Now she was a leader, a teacher, and a symbol of change. Luma stood on the stage, her silver eyes shining with excitement. She looked out at the crowd and smiled. Welcome to the Galactic Comedy School, she said warmly. Here we learn the power of laughter. We learn how humor can unite us even when we are different. The crowd cheered. Tom smiled proudly after the lesson. Tom walked up to Luma. You're amazing, he said quietly. Luma laughed softly. We did this together, Tom. Tom nodded. Yes, but you led the way. Luma looked thoughtful. I never thought I could do this. Teach humor? To so many? Tom said. You did. Because you believed. Luma smiled. And because I had a good teacher. Tom chuckled. Not bad for a human. Luma winked. And you're not bad for an alien. That evening, as the station lights dimmed and most visitors returned to their ships, Tom and Luma sat near the observation window. The stars twinkled like diamonds in the black sky. Do you ever miss your old home? Tom asked gently. Luma looked at the stars. Sometimes, but my true home is here now, where I am free to be myself. Tom smiled. Freedom is the greatest joke. Luma laughed softly. Yes, freedom to laugh, freedom to live. Tom looked at her glowing face and felt warmth inside. You changed everything, Luma. Not just for your people, but for all of us. Luma reached out and took Tom's hand. And you changed me, she said softly. You taught me friendship. You taught me courage. Tom squeezed her hand. We are friends. Luma's silver eyes sparkled. Forever friends. The next day, a new message came from the Zarian Council. They invited Tom and Luma to visit their home planet. They wanted to see the changes firsthand. Tom was surprised. They want us to come? Luma nodded. Yes. They want to learn more. Tom looked at her. Are you ready? Luma smiled. With you? Yes. Together they prepared for the journey. The day they left Delta 4, many beings gathered to say goodbye. Aliens from many worlds waved and cheered. Tom looked back once. This is just the beginning, he said. Luma smiled. The biggest joke is still to come. On the Zarian home planet, Tom and Luma were greeted with respect and curiosity. The leaders listened closely as Luma told her story. the story of laughter, friendship, and change. Tom shared human jokes and taught the Xerians how humor helped him understand Luma better. At first, some were skeptical, but as the days passed, laughter spread. Xerians, who had never smiled, began to enjoy jokes and riddles. One elder said, "We see now that laughter is not weakness, it is strength." Luma smiled. "It is freedom." Together they opened the first official galactic comedy school on the Xerian homeworld. Tom and Luma stood side by side as students from all species learned how to laugh and live freely. Months passed. The comedy school grew. Ships from distant galaxies arrived to join the lessons. Tom and Luma traveled together, spreading the message of humor and hope. One day, as they watched a group of young Xerian children laughing at a silly story, Tom turned to Luma. "You did it," he said softly. "You changed your world." Luma looked at the children and smiled. "No, Tom, we did it." Tom laughed. "And you say I'm not funny, human?" Luma laughed too. "The funniest." Years later, Delta Force Station was famous as the birthplace of galactic laughter. Tom and Luma's story was told across the stars. People remembered how a lonely human, engineer, and a strange blue alien girl showed the galaxy that humor could unite even the most different worlds, Luma often said. "The biggest joke is that laughter can change everything." Tom smiled and added, "And it all started with a broken joke and a glowing blue girl." Together, they looked up at the stars, and for the first time, they knew they were home.